Good evening. Good evening. This is Royal and Henry HENDAWG. What's up, Henry?
What's going on, man? Long time no see, man. I know we seen
Long
each other last week,
time
man.
no see, man. Well, it's been a great day. Everything's been online, on point, as they say.
All right.
So, man, I hope you all are having a great day and getting some, enjoying either a drink or a Coke or a bottle of water, which is my case, or whatever. What are you
I
drinking?
got
Oh,
I got
hey,
the same thing, man.
hey,
I'm a little under the
drink
weather
more
today,
water,
but I'm
right?
here, man.
Hmm.
I'm a little under the weather today, but we're here, man.
Well, I hope you feel better, man, because it sucks when you're under the weather, man, especially when you have to be outside and, just the sun, the sweat, and all of that man, just drains you, man. Man, I feel sorry,
Right.
man. Just so sorry, man. I hope you feel better, man.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man.
We'll see. Well, tell me about who we got coming in tonight. Who do we
Well,
got? I
well,
heard,
we got
is
the
it
beautiful
Elvis
Destiny
Presley, or
Nevada.
who do we have? Who do you have? Elvis Presley, or who do we got? Cher? Who do we got? Madonna? Who's coming in?
No, we got the beautiful Destiny Nevada.
Oh, even better. So tell me more. Tell me more.
Well, I don't know if you know her. I mean, she is very, very well known. I mean, her uncle is Emilio Nevada, the very popular Tejano artista, and I believe he just had a birthday a couple of days ago. Happily heavenly birthday from us here, DJ Hendog and Royal ACTITUD y PASIÓN.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to the talented Emilio Nevada. It's awesome to have her niece,
Oh
his niece
yeah,
on here,
yeah, yeah.
man.
Man, pretty cool. Well, let's bring her in. Let's see what she's all about, and let's see what's going on. And definitely, we're gonna have her sing a couple of songs, or not a whole song,
Exactly, of
but a
course.
couple. You know how we do here at at New Mexico Radio Talk Show. Anyway, let's bring her in. There's Destiny. Hey, Destiny, how's it going? How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys? Thanks for the
Oh man,
invitation.
just lovely, just lovely. Or well, not so much lovely, right? You look lovely. We don't. We kind of weird if we look lovely, right? But then again, it's a new age, so I guess I could be lovely if I
Yeah,
wanted
there you
to, right?
go. No
Hey,
problem.
I can own it. Hey, let's see. We got some comments coming in. Here's Carlitos. Hey, Carlos, what's going on? Saluditos, man. Carlos was awesome. He was on our show, man. That dude can sing. So tell me, Destiny, where does this whole singing career come about? What happens? You're growing up, you're playing with your dolls and your monitos, and you're cooking dishes, whatever little girls play with that during when you were little. What happens? ¿Qué pasó?
Well, I grew up around music, being at the dances, the bailes, the clubs when we were, very small. And,
Right.
very privileged just to really have that experience and, um, you know, see different things that a lot of kids my age wouldn't have seen. So growing up, I really didn't play with dolls or do that kind of stuff. We played band. My grandpa was a big influence in our musical
Wait,
world.
wait, wait. You said you played band. In other words, they made two guys be like the Brady Bunch, that kind of, or
We
was it the
played
Patrick's Family,
band.
that kind of deal. You guys picked an instrument y ahí le daban.
Well, we
Are you
played band.
serious?
The thing was that I was the only girl, so it was my oldest cousin Emilio, Diego, and then me, and then my brother came 4 years later.
Hello, Roy.
So we were very close, and being around the music and stuff, that's what we love to do. We wanted to be like our dads.
Wow.
And so I'm talking every pot and pan at my grandma's was used for the drums, the
Wow.
brooms for the guitars, and the mops for the bass and things like that. So we kind of did that our whole lives. And I think the first time I sang in front of people and in front of my dad. I was about 4 years old. My uncle he would have Halloween parties,
Exactly.
and I sang Dulzura by Jennifer Peña, and
Wow.
my dad was I think he was shocked, and I'll never forget. He was so happy, he was so proud, and he told me, Mija, you know how to sing, do you like to sing? And of course, everybody was hugging me and applauding me, and I loved it. I loved
You
the
love the
attention.
attention. Yeah, that's super
Yeah,
cool.
so I ever since then, I think I knew I wanted to be a singer.
Yeah.
And as I grew up, we took it a little more seriously. I recorded a song here and a song there.
Exactly.
My dad had his studio. And then after the wreck in 2008, when my uncle and my dad wrecked in the bus, we took over my uncle's tour for the rest of that year. And I'm talking about my cousins again, Emilio and Diego, my brother Rigo, and my dad, and some of his old band members. So since really on the road professionally, I've been on the road since I was 15 years old.
Wow.
But singing wise, I've been singing since I was about 4.
Yeah, wow, man, that's pretty cool. And now at 4 years old, singing an actual song, not no Mary had a little lamb or three little pigs or three blind mice, but actually a real song. And wow, man, that's pretty cool. But then that's the influence of your family, you know. I mean, there was obviously your family, your those that were older than you were already in the business, and so
Right.
pues sí, no, sí, because we get guests that come in and no musical background at all. They're the
Yeah.
first ones. We
Right.
have
Exactly.
some that maybe their brother is or their
They're
cousin or
starting. They're
uncle.
starting the curse.
Right? Am I right? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because it becomes a lifestyle, right? It becomes a
Exactly.
lifestyle.
It
That's
really
the,
does. It
you know,
really
I've
does.
learned.
And as I grew up, I did the whole music thing throughout my high school career. I went to the University of Texas in Austin,
There you go.
and so I'm hook 'em horns. I'm
Yeah.
an educated Latina, but even after graduation, um, I missed the road. I wanted to be on the road. I knew that singing was still my passion. And that's when I really decided to go 100% in it with my dad and my brother Rigo as well.
Wow, man, amazing. Yeah. Man, this is so cool. This is so cool because you are educated, I mean, because some people in any field, whether it be musician, artist, or they be, athletes or something, they focus only on their craft and they leave education behind, and then something happens. Either they break a leg and they can't be the football player, they mess up their wrist or arm,
Yeah,
they can't shoot the ball anymore, or maybe they can't run if they're tennis players, or maybe they mess up their vocals or something happens that they can't sing anymore. You have the education to fall back on, and that's really smart because in the end, it's about singing, but there's also a business side to this
oh yeah,
singing thing. So tell us about
exactly.
it. Tell us about the business side of this thing, and or how do you balance both the music part of it and the business side of it? How do you balance that?
Well, first of all, I want to thank my mom. She's the one who made me go to school, and so she's
There
the
you go, mom.
reason.
La Chancla works, man.
Yeah,
Chancla University.
yes, she's the reason. Why I did that. My brother as well went to UT and studied film, and so
Wow.
we've got stuff to fall back on. But you know, when I started the solo career as Destiny, and a little bit with Remedio, the group that we had with my dad,
Right.
Right.
I started learning more the business side as far as, okay, you're going to collect. Sometimes it's going to be a struggle. You're going to have contracts that you're going to have to understand. You're going to have merchandise, people selling your merchandise, making
Right.
sure you're getting the money that you are supposed to get, the money that they're supposed to get. I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
Not
Right.
to
Right.
mention, making records is a huge it's a huge concept that this is I've made 2 records so far and I've learned so much, but I know that there is still so much that I need to know and that I need to learn. So it's a lot, and it's made me a stronger woman. It's made me more sure of what I want as a singer, as a songwriter, as an artist, as a businesswoman, because
Right.
I do run the show when we're on the road. We're traveling to Lubbock, to Houston, to Mexico, to wherever we are. I'm in charge.
You're the
Um,
boss.
I'm in charge, and sometimes, and that's the hard thing. That people say it's harder for women. That's one of the things, is it's hard for a man to listen to a woman,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, if you don't like it, then you got to go. But
Right, exactly, of course.
you know,
But you know what? You have to develop the chemistry within your team, and
oh yeah,
you have to have the right members to create a winning team, an awesome team. Porque
for sure.
as they say, one rotten apple spoils everything.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm sure at some point you've picked your bat musician or somebody that just, como dicen, mess up the pole.
For sure, for sure. And it comes and goes in waves. It's really hard to keep a band together and
Wow.
to keep that confianza,
There you go.
entre nosotros. And I want to give a big shout out to my manager.
There you go.
She invested in me, from day one when I started doing La Preferida, recording that album. Josette Torres, she's here with me in Monterrey. She's brought me to make my music international.
There you
And it's just been such a rewarding thing, and me being able to learn from her. She's a successful businesswoman,
go.
and so for me to be able to learn from her, when you need to battle and when you don't, when you
Right.
need to kind of step back and
Choose your battles.
reevaluate things. So
Yeah.
I've been very blessed, and yeah, like you
Qué
said,
bueno.
sometimes you get the bad apples, but it's part
Exactly.
of the experience, and it's part, like I said, it's made me a smarter, stronger,
Yeah.
I think, artist, as an artist, not just a singer, but I throw all of my emotions into my music. I'm a
There you
songwriter, and I think you can really hear, what I'm feeling when I'm
Right.
singing, and
And that's how it should be.
yeah, and that's
That's how we
something I'm
should.
very proud of.
And you mentioned international, and the thing is, man, I see this all the time because I don't come from the Tejano industry. I come from just doing talk shows, and then Hilda Peña and I kind of hooked up, and we started doing talk shows related to Tejano music, and that's how I come into this. But I do see that Europe, South America, they love Tejano music, and people,
Yeah,
and I go, well, our show is about bringing the non-fans into
bring 'em
the
in.
neighborhood so they can become fans. That's what our shows are about. They're up in the ACTITUD y PASIÓN, and this one's becoming like that because it's following the same design in a sense. But the thing is, you were saying, wow. Let me ask you this: how old are you? If I can ask you that.
Yeah. I actually just turned 30 years old.
Wow, you're still fairly young, man. No. I mean, what I mean by that musically, man. Musically, you're still fairly young. You still got, man, a long time to go. And
Well,
obviously, when you were
I
little,
plan to sing. I always tell my brother, I plan to sing. If you gotta roll me on the wheelchair on the stage,
that's
I'm
what I
gonna
mean.
be there. So,
And
um,
just imagine, as good as you are right now, every 5 years you're getting better and better because
yeah.
obviously the voice matures, and the technique, and the new styles develop, and the whole bit, man. Superstar up there, especially when you're moving towards the international market, because that's where it's at.
Yeah, for
That's where
sure.
it's at.
We've been so blessed. Like I said, in 2020, my album actually came out the day that San Antonio shut down the city for COVID.
Wow.
So I was very heartbroken. We had a lot of plans. We had a lot of dates lined up. We had a lot of promotion in the United States and in Mexico.
Right.
And so I wasn't able to do so. So I was very heartbroken, and it took a lot out of me. But it also gave me my second album. We wrote during that time. And in September of 2020, we got the opportunity to move to Monterrey. And, I was kind of at the point where I was like, okay, Destiny, you're either really going to do this, it's time to jump and take that leap of faith, or you're going to do something else. And so I took the jump.
Right.
And so far, it's been great. And I've met so many great people. I've gotten to record with Jose Adán Esparza de Grupo Bronco.
Wow.
He's Lupe Esparza's son, who is
Mhm.
now, playing in the band. So that, just that song, him sharing it on their platform.
Right, exactly.
I've gotten to do, interviews from people in Argentina. I get messages from people in Peru, in Chile, in Guatemala. I mean, anywhere in South America. You look on my iTunes, I see people from Spain listening, Italy, things like that. They're a worldwide group. So
Yeah.
I've just been very blessed, and I'm very proud because I'm a super fangirl, first of all, for Grupo Bronco. So when he said yes, I screamed a little bit, and then, composed myself and was ready to get into the studio. So it was an awesome experience to do that with him.
No, qué bueno, qué bueno. Yeah, I mean,
So,
all of South America is a market of mine, man. I'm almost there all the time. Henry, you were gonna say something. Go ahead, bro.
so have you always, spoke Spanish or sang in Spanish?
Singing in Spanish, yes. I've always sang in Spanish since I was a kid. That was more, influence of my grandfather. Again, my dad, they would come home from the gigs, 3 or 4 in the morning, and he would wake us up, and, we'd be at the table listening to Roberto Pulido and all of those guys. And he would explain, what the lyrics meant to us. And that to me was always so, that was very impactful to me. I thought, wow, this language that sounds so beautiful and is meaning this beautiful story. That was always something really important to me and made a big impact on me. But speaking, I always knew the basics. Again, in high school, I did all 3 Spanishes. In college, I took Spanish. But it took me to move to Mexico to actually be able to speak fluently and understand. And, now I can really express myself when I'm doing like interviews and things like that. I'm not just saying, aquí está mi nuevo álbum y esta canción es con esta persona. No. Ahora pues puedo explicar cómo me siento realmente. And, it's opened my world it's opened my eyes to another world. I can communicate with people who think differently than I do, who have different experiences than I do.
Right.
And I think it's done nothing but make me grow as an artist, for sure.
Right. So I mean,
who's
go ahead.
one of the biggest inspirations in your music career? I mean, I know you've had your uncle Emilio. I mean, I know everybody has their own inspirations on who influenced them into the music industry. Who influenced you into the music?
Well, definitely, obviously, in the Tejano world, my uncle Emilio, Selena as a woman. But in the, kind of other genres, right now, as I've gotten older and I've gotten to kind of pick, who I love, I'm a huge Intocable fan. I love everything that they do. I love John Mayer. I think he's an amazing writer. I take a lot of what I do from him. Singing wise, Whitney Houston, my dad was religiously making me listen to her. Mariah Carey, Beyonce. I mean, there's so many. Shania Twain. Right. There's so many women, especially that I look up to. But I'm a little bit of mix of everything. My dad and my uncle, they're rock and rollers. Van Halen was always on in our house. So I'm Van Hagar. I'm a Sammy Hagar fan. So
there you go.
But yeah, I've had a lot of different mixes of genres. And
did you ever listen to the classics? Like, well, not so much classical, but maybe even classical music, but the classics like maybe Pedro Infante, Luis Aguilar, Javier Solís, Lola Beltrán, Flor Silvestre, Agustín Lara, those.
Yeah, so my grandpa was that part of my musical world, right. And I actually got to meet and perform with Lupita Infante, who's the granddaughter of Pedro Infante.
Yeah.
And that was so cool to meet her. And, I told her, how big an influence he is on my family. I even think my uncle took a little bit of his look from him. Yeah. And that's how big of fans we are. And so it was really cool to kind of meet her. I definitely felt my grandpa was super proud of me in that moment. And the classics, I mean, and anything that we could get our hands on. For example, we'd go to the thrift stores when we were kids and just buy records, random records.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
My grandpa would play a song and he'd say, okay, I'm going to give you all day to learn this song. And at night, you got to perform it for us. And,
wow.
And that's
amazing coach.
That's what we would do. And so, to hear different kinds of music wasn't out of the ordinary to me.
Carlos, hey, how's it going? Saluditos. Saludos. Yeah, man. And you know what I was about to say? You mentioned you're 30, man. I thought you were a kid. I thought you were like
don't say that number.
24 or something like that, man. You look young.
I can be 24.
I could be 24.
you look really good. Good.
No, you look great. You look great. Well, let me share a couple.
Well, I have my dad's baby face. So.
Ándale, está bien. So that's good. That's good, right? Let me show you a couple of pictures here. There's a little bit of your logo there in a sense, right? And as we go, tell us about this picture here. Is this recent?
So this is Grupo Remedio. I've changed some band members since, right. But these guys were definitely, you know, part of
Your
this.
history.
Yeah, this was my first group here in Monterrey, and these
Órale.
guys, actually, the two guys on the left, they had played with my uncle Emilio here in Mexico,
Oh, wow.
and so they came and helped me out. And then on the right, of course, is my brother, Rigo NAVAIRA. He's my bass player. He does backup vocals. He writes. He produces. He does everything with me.
Man. So
On the
you
next,
guys are like Selena and Amy, man. You best
yeah,
friends. I
yeah.
mean, you know,
That's
I
what
mean
I told my
that type
dad.
of relationship, you know.
That's what I tell my dad. I'm like, why'd you put him to do bass? Everybody's gonna think we're copying Selena and Amy. But no, and I always tell my mom I needed 3 more brothers to have a full band. Y'all messed
Right,
up.
right. Yeah. Los
But
Dinos.
but it, you know, it's been a cool ride so far, and yeah,
Wow.
this picture was
Is that
uh,
Padre or is that Corpus?
this
Padre?
is actually, you're not gonna believe where it's at. This
New
is
Mexico.
in Monahans, Texas. It's in West Texas at the sand dunes.
Órale.
And it
Wow.
was June. It was Father's Day. My dad was so mad at me because I had him out in the sun, and we did a music video for La Preferida, one of my songs.
Ah, qué pretty, qué pretty. And then tell me about this picture. I saw this picture and I said, man, this guy has to be an inspiration of some song, either a sad story or a beautiful story or something.
Well, this was my announcement that I was going to be coming out solo. And what this was, you know, I wanted people to see me for me. A lot of, you know, and still to this day, and then forever, I'll always be Raulito's daughter. I'll always be
Yeah.
Emilio's niece. But at the same time, you know, this was me making my mark, starting my journey as Destiny NAVAIRA. And so the roses, you know, the roses to me were just a symbol of, you know, all the love that I had received, and you know, that we were getting as Grupo Remedio, kind
Mm-hmm.
of doing, you know, a tribute to my uncle Emilio. And the, you know, the petals were just kind of like that, you know, I've outgrown it. But I'm starting to flourish into something else. So I'm very symbolic.
Right,
Everything
right.
I
No,
do
no.
has a meaning,
I'm the
and
same way.
that's what that was
Exactly.
Wow.
about.
No, that's deep. I like it. I love it. And you know, it's like the entrance into a new age.
Yeah,
Oh, you know, that kind of deal.
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
there's just I guess a couple album covers or
Those
maybe
were
that's
pictures of me performing. Yeah,
yeah, there you
performing.
go.
Mhm.
Again some more. And tell me about this day.
Yeah, so I am so proud and very honored to this year. I am the Female Vocalist of the Year for the Tejano Music Awards. And, you know, this was a um, big milestone for me. You know, there's not a lot of ladies who have won this award. And to be on that same list as Laura Canales, Selena Quintanilla, Elida Reina, Stephanie Montiel, Shelly Lares, and to be one of the, I mean, really be the first new artist to break that pattern, it really gave me a lot of perspective. It showed me that, you know, I have what it takes, and people say, you know, what they want to say about the awards and things like that, but to me, I really worked hard for it, and I really felt like I deserved it. It made me feel, after the pandemic, you know, that I couldn't promote my first CD only through the internet and only through, you know, things like that. It made me feel like I had accomplished something big during a really difficult time for our music, for the music world in general.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I'm very, very proud. I actually have the award back here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Ahí,
back here.
ahí está.
And yeah, I'm just very proud, and thank you, you know, so grateful to everybody who
Well,
voted for me.
Jenny Peña here says saludos. She says, hey, D. She says, I
Saludos.
love you, D. And Carlos says, congratulations. Jenny says,
Thank
you're
you.
so gorgeous inside and out. Y dice, Jenny, that she shared the show.
Thank you,
HENDAWG, you're
guys.
getting a shout out from Monica here. Y Carlitos says, how you doing? And there's some other people I can't get the comments right now. But yeah, I mean, winning an award like that kind of like puts a period
Exactly.
on a certain, you know, time frame and says you've done a great job here's an award, here's a reward, here's a trophy that means you're a winner. You're a winner in
Yeah.
this area, in this field. You're a champion, and so that's
Yeah,
really
and
good.
just to feel recognized, and like I said, I had won Best New Female Artist in 2016 with Remedio, and it took me another 5 years
Yeah.
to get there, and it was a lot of work, not just musically, but physically. I lost a lot of weight. I was during 2018 to 2020, I lost about 100 pounds. And, so I really took it seriously what I was doing in my career. And I knew that image was a part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, you have to become a brand, you become a brand, not all that. I do a lot of coaching as
exactly.
far, on the business end of it. Plus, Jenny says, so are you going to sing for us, baby girl? And of course, she beat me to the punch because when you come on the show with Royal, you're definitely going to sing because that's the price of admission. So
No
what are you going to sing
problem.
for us?
No problem. Yeah, I'll do a piece of my first single that we let out for the second CD, which has done really well for me. It's called Me Da Gusto. So just a little piece of that.
All right. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Just a little piece, not the whole song, because we wanna hear you sing some more.
For sure.
And we don't want to run out of time.
Here we go.
Ándale.
Me da gusto, tanto gusto, que tenerte de la mano frente a frente y mirarte me enloquece. Yo me muero por besarte y sentir todo tu amor al abrazarte. Ir juntitos de la mano, caminar toda la vida. Tú me encantas, estoy completamente loca por ser dueña de tus besos, pues solo vives dentro de mis pensamientos. Me enloqueces, yo te quiero tener siempre junto a mí.
Wow. I was gonna say, dude, that's cool. But you know what I mean? Yeah, man, that is awesome. I love it when artists come in and they just sing from their hearts, and sale the real artist. None of this que the little fine tuning y que esto que el otro. No, sale la verdad. Because those are the kind of artists I like to go listen to live, because I know I'm going to hear the same thing that I hear in the radio or that I hear on the iTunes or whatever, and live. Maybe a little bit of difference, but a lot of it's going to be the same. Versus like sometimes you hear some stuff and wait a minute, when's he going to start singing? Ya están cantando, but it's like, man, you have an awesome voice. I like the way you project and all of that. And obviously a lot comes from the talent, and a lot comes from you studied music, because you mentioned also, I'm sure you did, because you also mentioned that your brother studied film.
Actually, I studied nada que ver con la música. I studied government and business.
What's the deal, man? What's up with that? Well, the business part of it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the business a little bit.
I guess you want to be a government teacher or go to CIA or something like that.
Nada que ver con la música.
Well, sometimes, sometimes that's got to be your special place, studying another field. But, hey, you get educated, and that's what matters. I mean, education is education. It makes you think on a different level, especially when you go to UT. That's the hook them horns. So, wow, amazing. ¿Qué dice? Oh, look at here. Aquí viene. Okay, I heard her first song with her dad at the Dallas Tejano Convention. I think she thinks. Dice, aquí dice, Lisa, saludes everyone desde Pearsall. Órale.
How's it going, Lisa?
Hey, Lisa, it's amazing when they sound like the CD. Ain't that right, Jenny? And Jenny's another one that sounds, cool, when she's got her light on, because the other time she came in, toda oscurita, man. We sent her into the closet so she could sing. She's a good sport, though. Where did you get that? Where did you get studying music? Or where did you get studying music? She didn't study music, man. She went to the university of her family, man.
That's right.
Well, no, but you know what? As you were telling me your story, man, what was it? Your dad? right? Your dad or your grandpa?
But
That
well,
was
both of them. My
they
grandpa.
were good coaches. You know,
Oh yeah.
I think they took off their family hat and they put on their coaching hat because they were drilling you and coaching you the whole time to
Exactly.
become a successful artist.
And my dad, we talk about it now. I'm like, man, if I ever have kids, you're gonna have to tell me what to do because you did it right. And he's like, girl, I had no idea what I was doing. But he found a way to coach me without ever making me feel forced. I never felt
Right.
forced to sing. I always saw it as a privilege and as something that, he would always tell me, God gave you this voice. Are you going to use it or not? And that really stuck with me. Being a little kid, I'm still super dramatic, but that stuck with me and him, really really believing in my talent and showing me that, Mija, you can do something with this.
Yeah.
That was really what inspired me, and I always wanted to make my parents proud. And
Yeah.
when I sang, I was in my element, and I did.
Wow.
I would be happy to see them so proud and so so happy.
Dice Lupe Castro, congratulations, Henry. All right, cool.
So
And Jenny
you know
says we're night owls, but yeah, we are, I guess. Go ahead,
in,
Henry.
in your music career, it's really tough out there for the industry. You know what I mean? I mean, to do what you love to do, and with all the haters out there, you know what I mean? That especially like you. I mean, you're Navaira. You know what I mean? People are like, man, she's Destiny Navaira. She's the niece of Emilio, and she's gonna make it to the top just because you're his niece. And how do you take that in consideration? With all this this going on, because I mean the world out there is very tough. But the thing is, you go out there and you put on your 100%. I mean, it's not given to you. It's not. I mean, just because he is your uncle, you're not gonna get these achievements just because he's your uncle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The Novita name opens so many
Yeah.
doors for me.
Exactly.
And I'm proud of it. I didn't grow up normal. There was a lot of things that were talked about my family.
Right.
Kids at school, their parents knew my parents and my uncle, and I heard things, and people would say different things, and so I learned to have tough skin. And
Of course.
so when I do hear things like that, I just kind of laugh it off,
Well, of
and
course.
I think that people hear that when they see me play, which is another thing. Slowly but surely the gigs are coming in. I'll be in Houston September 9th. I'll be in San Antonio in October, and I'm not sure what date yet, but then in October 22nd, I'll be in Buda, Texas. So, slowly but surely I've done some shows here in Monterrey, and I think they hear it when I sing that, yeah, my name is Destiny Naida, but I also carry that Navaida with my voice.
Of
I
course.
don't just, let it, okay, I'm Destiny Navaida and I can sing whatever I want. No, 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 no. We have a standard to hold. My dad is
Right.
still very much involved in our production, in all the music that we do. And so if it's not good, he tells me right away. He's like, that
Exactly.
song's not good. Try again, And so it's got its advantages and it's got its disadvantages, just like
Well, of
anything.
course. Well, of
But to
course.
me, I'm so very proud. I hold it with such a responsibility and a lot of pride. Yesterday was my Uncle Emilio's birthday. He would have been 60 years old. And, just to think, it's sad that he's not here, but it's also, to me, knowing him and how he was,
Right. Exactly.
he's going to live forever young. And that, to me, brings a peace to me. It brings peace to my
Exactly.
heart because I know that he did have a lot more to do before he left, but at the same time, he did so much in his lifetime. And, I want to do the same.
Well, he definitely will remember it. I mean, we could say he was a legend. He definitely, as they say, he left his footprint on this. He left his footprint on the sand.
Yeah.
And he left ¿cómo se dice? He definitely left a long time, a commercial that's going to last forever. A song that's going to be last forever. They kind of deal a story that's going to be last forever because of the impact. And then, of course, as you add to that, and all your family members add to that, because the legacy of his name lives in you guys. And of course, but at the same time you have to, or you have kind of created your own, because you also don't want to live in the shadows of the great Emilio, uh not because of lack of respect or anything, but because of love. You want to become destiny, you know. You want to
Yeah,
become
well,
destiny.
he showed us, my cousins as well, his sons, Emilio and Diego, they have a group called the Las Bandoleros, and they do kind of like the country rock kind of thing. They're actually touring in Europe right now. They've been in Europe for like 2 months. And so, I think he just showed us, him and my dad showed us that anything is possible, and that if you really truly put the work into it and you have that passion and faith in your talent, that you can do so. So I think he would want nothing less of me but to make my own mark in the music that I want, and we're venturing out. I mean, in this second album, I have a mariachi song, I have a banda song, I have again the grupera song with Bronco. So we're just kind of putting our foot in all the waters and seeing, where
Yeah.
we feel most comfortable at. We're actually in the works of album 3 already, and we're doing something different. I'm excited for people to hear it. Some people might not like it, but I think we're trying to stay with the times, and como que yo soy tejana aquí en Mexico. When they
Right,
hear my
right.
music, no matter what it is, they're gonna think it's tejano. And I think that's what our genre needs, is that revamp, is that branding,
Yeah,
because it has been a while since somebody new has come out and
Of course.
changed the onda. So that's what I'm trying to do, and also stay true to my roots. There's no shame in my shows. I play the old 90s songs. I play Jennifer, I play Selena,
yeah.
I do Laura, but you know I try to do more of my originals so that people can start identifying with my music more.
Here's a question, Banda. Where I want your music? Where can I get it?
So all my music is on all digital platforms, Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you get music, download music, Destiny Navaira, YouTube. I have all my music videos on there. Every single that we've done has had a music video. So, we try to put out as much content as we can.
Right.
And that's a big shout out to my brother as well. He directs my videos. And, it's just great working with family, and we butt heads sometimes, but it's all good, and we're over it in 10-15 minutes. It's just, we
Yeah,
know
it's
that we
part of
can
the
do
emotion, I guess. It's
Right.
part of the emotion, and growing up, I'm sure. What kid growing up doesn't beat up on his brother or his little sister or whatever, or the
Right.
other way around.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's the little sister that beats up on the big brothers,
Yeah.
but it's just all love, and that's pretty cool when you have that family dynamic. It just goes a long way, it you grow together, you learn together, and you're successful together, and at the end of the day, it's all yours, you
Yes,
know.
yes, for sure. And it's been an awesome, I think it's tradition. Like I said, my cousins Emilio and Diego are working together. They're brothers, and then me and my brother, we're working together. And out of all the Navairas, there's 8 grandkids between my dad and my uncle Emilio. Emilio and Diego have the Las Bandoleros. My cousin Emily, my uncle's daughter, she's a singer. She's going to school for music production. Um,
Wow.
and then Rigo and myself are doing this music. And then my little sister, she's at the University of New York. She's studying to be an actress.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
so she's out there doing that. And then the youngest, Tony and Frida, she just started recording some new music, and Tony has a rock band. He plays the drums. And so we're all musically inclined. My grandma's like, no more musicos. I'm like, sorry, grandma. But yeah, so very blessed, and just to be a part of this family. It's a lot of work, like I said, because it is a public image, but at the same time, there's a lot of love, and I just want to give a big shout out to my dad. He really is my rock. When there's days where I'm like, what am I doing? You
Yeah.
know, um, he kind of brings me back to look at what you've done so far, and
Exactly.
look at the opportunities that you're getting. And so, just a big shout out to him, because he's been a big part of what I'm doing right now.
Wow, we're cool. They say, what part of Mexico? I believe they're probably asking you where you live, and you're in Monterrey.
Monterrey. Monterrey.
Monterrey. Little Lisa Jenny, another part here. How long have you lived in Mexico? I remember something of when you moved there. What have you? What have you the motivation to move to? Oh, what gave you the motivation to move to Mexico?
So I've been here in September. It'll be 2 years that I've been here, and so the decision to come to Mexico actually came after I let my first single out, Inolvidable. I wasn't getting the response I wanted, and I have zero patience. I don't. I have no patience.
Right,
Wow.
exactly.
So I talked to my manager and I said, "Hey, like, let's just try to get it on the radio in Monterrey." My uncle had a really big presence here,
Yeah.
so we came and we visited a couple times. I did some interviews and we did Jesus Soltero, which is another show that a lot of Tejanos did back in the day.
Yeah.
And so it kind of just started snowballing.
Right.
And, you know, I was getting a lot of attention. I was getting interviews in San Luis Potosí, in Mexico
Hmm.
City, things like that. And so when we got that opportunity to move, I said, yeah, I have to do it. I
Let's
need to
go
take my
for it.
music
Yeah.
further. And I have bigger goals,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with, playing the clubs and the bailes and things
Of
like that.
course.
Yeah.
But my goal is to play palenques and arenas
There you
and
go.
things like that. And here it's just more of a possibility with the music that I'm doing.
Yeah, it's like I said, you go to the next level, and then you go to the next level, and so, well, before we go to the next level, how about another song?
Yeah, so I'm celebrating. It's been 3 years since my first single as Destiny came out,
Right
Inolvidable, which was one of the first songs I ever wrote. So I'll sing some of that for you.
there, you go.
Tengo mucho que decirte y lo tuve que escribir, pero llega la vergüenza a declarar mi amor por ti, pero viene de mi alma y de mi corazón. Inolvidable, esa magia entre tú y yo, inalcanzable, ser la dueña de tu amor. Inolvidable, aunque nunca sucedió y prefiero no decirte adiós, eres inolvidable.
Wow,
Inolvidable.
amazing, amazing, cool song. Very cool. Wow. So you know what? Before we go, let's get our other co-host. She's on remote. Jenny's our other co-host on remote. Who writes your music? Do you write music too, or do you write songs too? Yes, she does. But who else writes your music?
So majority of the albums, usually I come with the ideas of the song or I have at least a little bit of the melody. In the first album, it was me, myself, my friend Mike Aguilar, and my friend Juan Trevino, who is a songwriter for Elida, for Los Palominos, for Solido,
Hmm.
a bunch of people. And then the second album was myself, my brother, Lalo Morales, another friend of ours, un amigo que se llama Cesar Morquecho, who right now is writing for Signal. He's writing for Elida,
Wow,
a bunch of artists.
he's a
And
writer.
my producer, Alfonso Herrera, también. I'm working with Alfonso y Manuel Herrera, que ellos son los nietos de Fernando Maldonado, que
Wow.
he's the composer of Volver, Volver, and Hermoso Cariño.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, they've got music running through their veins, and it's such an honor to work with them and their family. Their mother actually wrote one of my songs, Vacia. She wrote that song for me, and she comes out in the video and things like that. So it's been really awesome.
Man, no, pues sí. Well, here's to you. I'm gonna drink something.
Cheers! I have water too.
Well,
Cheers.
Destiny
Water's good
Nevada,
for you, right?
you're very talented, at your age, and there's still more music and more time for your journey to continue because I mean the music is just getting better and better and better because you got the beautiful voice behind it and you sound just like you record. I watch a lot of your YouTube videos, your music videos, just to get the aspect of your performances because I mean I like to see you perform in actual time in real time to see the actual recording behind it because I mean, you don't get people to sing very very well because they don't sound like they're recorded in the studio. They like to bring their voice way high or way low and sound like somebody that they're not. And you got that voice where you just sound just pure crisp. And
Thank
we
you.
want to say thank you for coming on to the show, taking some time out of your busy schedule.
Yeah, man,
Um,
definitely.
I do got one question before we let you go. I always have to ask this question. So when during your performances, whether you see one person in the crowd or 50,000 people in the crowd, how do you perform?
Well, I actually try not to look at the crowd because it makes me nervous. But I think
So
it's
what do
so
you do when you're
important.
nervous? What do you do when you're nervous?
I take a shot. Usually,
Or you
my
come out like Pedro Infante. Yes, da, 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 da.
well, I think the nerves drive me to do, my best when I'm singing. Um, Whether you're in front of one person or 50,000 people, I think when you're a singer, when you're a true artist, you want your music to come across
Mm,
as you intend it to. And so for me, I've seen the big stages with my uncle and my dad. That's my goal, but I'm also starting out. So I know, it's part of paying your dues. And in order to do that, you need to give 100% every time you sing, no matter if you're on a web show or if you're on you're on a stage opening a festival, things like that. For me, it's important that people hear me like I really, really am. And when I perform, I feel like I become somebody else. It's my
Exactly.
it's my alter ego. And I'm really proud and really grateful to be doing this career again. Big shout out to all of my family, toda la familia Navaira,
hmm.
my brother Rigo, who is my partner in everything that I do, my manager again, my producers, and everybody who's just believed in me. You guys for sharing my music. Hopefully, we can come out to New Mexico soon. Let them know
Oh
you
yeah.
want to see Destiny Navaira live.
I sure
And
will.
we're just very, very blessed and honored to be doing this. And thank you guys again so much for the invite.
No, no, no. It's our
Anytime.
pleasure. It's an honor to have you here on this format, man. It's awesome. We definitely would want to have you on Actitud y Pasión sometime in December.
Yeah,
I have a
let's do
long
it.
list already filled out. So does Henry, by the way.
Right.
But I mean, a lot of people want to get on our shows. And so,
Uh-huh.
man, I'm glad you were able to join us. And man, it really shows the human side to it. This is why I like this shows because they buy your music and they fall in love with you. But man, when they see you live and they see you sing live and they interact and they have experiences like you have or similar, they kind of it makes you human. I think there was a comment here. What was it? She's so natural.
No,
Yeah, and it's
thank
true. I
you.
mean, because that's what it is, humility, and just being who you are. Dice aquí, I'm more quiet and focused with less people. With a crowd, my eyes don't have to meet with anyone that catches my mistake. Well, yeah. Well, you know what? Speaking of mistakes, you ever forgotten the words to songs?
Oh my God, all the time. Sometimes when I'm singing, and you know what? It's especially in interviews. I'm like singing it, and I'm like, "Am I saying the right words as I'm singing?"
Oh,
It's the
you
most
start questioning
horrible feeling.
yourself. That's bad.
Yeah, that's the most horrible feeling. But I mean, sometimes you're gonna have those moments, but nada que ver. As long as you sing and
Yeah.
you give the people the love that they want to feel with the music, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I like this phrase that it says, "Yes, up close and personal."
Up
I
close
like
and
that phrase,
personal.
Henry. Like, yeah, that's what we
Right.
do. We
Exactly.
bring it up close and personal. Because hey, that's the thing. It's kind of like being at on a concert and you're watching them, and it's like you want to touch them, or you just
Right.
just looking at them, and it's like you're here. So that's a fun thing. Well, no, believe it or not, we've gone 50 minutes already. We started with your video. I mean, some pictures that we kind of got. We put it to your song. So, any last words to all your fans, to whoever you want to thank?
I just want to say again, thank you to everybody for all the support. Para toda la gente de México que está viendo también, muchísimas gracias. Un saludito para todos de Monterrey, Coahuila, para todos de Saltillo, San Luis Potosí, todos los lugares de México. Y también, please follow me on all social medias, Destiny Navaira, at Destiny Navaira, on all social medias. All my music is available on all digital platforms, so please check out my new music. My first album is called La Preferida. My second album is Dime Cómo Se Siente. And please subscribe to my YouTube as well. We're going to have new videos coming out. And let me know what you think. I love to hear the response of people and, how we're doing and maybe ideas that you guys want to hear. We're very excited. We're working on album 3, like I said. And just be expecting more music from La Familia Navaira, Destiny, su servidora. And también my brother's going to have a single on this CD, and
All
we're really
right.
excited about it. And he's working on some stuff too. So very, very proud. And again, thank you to everybody with all my heart. I'm so honored and privileged to be doing what I'm doing. And like I said, sometimes I can't believe it. Sometimes I don't believe that this is happening to me. I work very hard to be, here where I am right now, and still working hard to get to the place where I really want to be.
Right,
But I'm
exactly.
enjoying every moment of it. So thank you guys so much.
You're incredible, Destiny. Is looking at Jenny. You're
Thank you,
incredible.
Jenny. I love you, Jenny. I love you,
Jenny
Jenny.
is awesome, man. And so yeah, great, man. Well, I'm glad you stopped by and the whole bit. Anytime you want to come by, just give Henry a call or message me. And we'll get you on because sometimes you just gotta make an appearance. Just 10 minutes. Hey, how's it going, guys? Y órale, a los guachamos, that kind of deal. Because como dijo Jenny, up and personal. And Jenny, man, Jenny's making really good comments here. She said this. Yes, thank goodness for technology. We can get to know the artists we love, and it's true because a record, a CD
Exactly.
doesn't do it.
For sure.
You get to even go see them. That doesn't do it because you don't get to talk to them because you guys. I mean, there's security things going on too at the same time. Nunca sabes, so crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
there's even artists that have been hurt that way. Pero I'm glad we have these formats, and I said this before. During the pandemic, the internet has made it possible for more artists to be known and perhaps sell more records than any time. And I know some people say it's the DJs, and yes, the DJs have their job, but even the DJs are using the internet to have their music played on. And so
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And when more people know you, more people buy your music, and more people fall in love with you.
For
So,
sure. For sure. Please download my music. Destiny No
mira,
Idea.
aquí está Luis de México. ¿Qué pasó, Luis? Luisito.
Hello.
Yeah. So great. Bueno, pues Jenny will let you backstage, and Henry and I will finish up the show. And if you got time, we'll chat a little bit. Y si no, pues, hey, have a good one. Thank you for dropping by. You were awesome.
And once
Thank
again,
you.
thank you, Destiny. Thank
And
you. We love you.
Love y'all
take care.
guys. Thank
Ándale,
you.
take care. Bye-bye. Wow, amazing.
Yes, man. I mean, she comes back, with behind the scenes, for Uncle being, in the industry, man, and she's got the talent, she's got the talent, to make it to the next, the top diva in the music industry, man. It's just very, very honored, to have her on our program today, man. Just can't thank her enough and her managers enough, for having her on the show today, man.
Yeah. Well, Luis, you got here. You got here when you got here. Está bueno. Qué bueno que
But
llegaste, Luis. No te preocupes. Mejor tarde que nunca, bro. So yeah, well, great. Well, guys, it's I don't know anything you want to add, Henry.
I just want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in, especially Jenny. Everybody's tuning in. Hopefully, you guys had an awesome time on the show today. Sorry, I'm a little bit underneath the weather. Wasn't very much talkative today, but next week I'll be all right. Next week I'll be all right. But we want
You'll
to say
be
thank you to the
all right.
Navitas for coming in, and Royal for coming onto the show today. Everybody, thank you from all over. Thank you for all the support. We'll see you guys. Want to say thank you once again to everybody, man.
Más vale tarde que nunca, right? So see. And Jenny throws the kisses and all of that. Hey, much love to you guys. We see you tomorrow night. We got a great show. We won't tell you who's coming in or anything. We'll just tell you that we're gonna be here, party of 6, tomorrow night. On what show is that, Henry? What do you call that? The
The
Tuesday,
trip with
Wednesday,
the trip with
Thursday, what?
Tejano Thursday, man. So get your beer ready. I'll have my water ready for tomorrow, but make sure you
I
got
have
your.
extra bottle here already for you, man.
So we'll
So
see
we
you
see you
mañana.
mañana en la noche. Go get some sleep because you know that show goes a long time. I'm gonna drop in right around 10 just to let you guys know because I have a show before. Actually, tomorrow night on ACTITUD y PASIÓN at 8:30, we have Araceli Fuentes and Rick Fuentes on our show, and that goes till about 9:30. Henry starts his show, and then I come in right around 10. So we'll see you tomorrow, Jenny. We'll see you. Thank you for making the comments, Jenny. You're awesome. You're definitely our third co-host on remote. You're our third host on remote.
You got it, guys. Thank you.
Much love to you guys. We see you, man. We're gonna end up with this video, and then we end up the show. Here we go.
Nunca imaginé el dolor que siento hoy. ¿Quién iba a pensar si jurabas tanto amor? Si esta es una pesadilla, que me despierten por favor. No me duele que te vayas o que